absolutely right.
Oh, shut that off.
70s.
So this is the part of the show where you welcome everyone that tuned in. You say hello, maybe say a little something funny to set the tone for the show. So take it away. Give us your intro.
Hi, everybody. Yay. So here's our deal with our intro. So JD called us and said, hey, would you guys do this? And I said, I'm a little busy. And Shannon goes, we're going to do this. And then I said, okay, Shannon, great. I'll think of the topics. I'll think of the lame or game. You do the intro. And then today she said, cool, we're not doing an intro. So that's our intro.
No, actually, we have an intro. Hey,
Oh, you
y'all.
do?
We do. Okay, so actually, somebody else wrote this for us. So we're gonna intro everybody. So please welcome the Retireholics to the Shamanda Show. First, we have Chad Johansson, a very smart man with a side gig designing women's dresses. Mark Palmini eventually hopes to be a full-grown Palomino. I don't know what that means. Somebody wrote this for us. Justin McNeil, quiet, reserved, or is he just an Apple product that's been slowed down until the new version is on the market later this year?
Wow.
That is true.
Ouch.
That is
That's
true.
Brandon.
Thanks.
Brandon really doesn't want to be here, would prefer to have been an adult in the 80s and spent his life working on Xerox machines and playing The Legend of Zelda.
Ooh, that's not too far. I like
Not
that.
too far
Not
off.
too far off, right?
There
This
you
is
go.
this is all from
You gotta let me fly.
this is all from Mr. Bowtie. This is all
Yes.
from Mr. Bowtie. Okay.
Yeah, Mr.
From
Bowtie.
who?
And JD Carlson, rogue rebel, disruptor, still can't raise as much money as human interest.
Mm.
Woohoo.
Well timed. Well
Good job,
timed.
Bill. Nice intro.
We'll have to talk about it today.
Thank you, Bowtie Man.
Who's Bowtie Man? I'm left
Bill
out of this.
Preston.
Bill
one.
Preston. Bill
Oh,
Preston.
yeah.
We
He
definitely-
was-
I couldn't even understand what you said about me, to be honest with you.
Well, actually, I would have said something more about your robe and how you're like selling yourself for sponsorships.
Sorry.
And you have the most adorable daughter ever. That's probably your best gig going.
I
Mark,
appreciate that.
Mark, you can't always be the center of attention. Okay.
No, I just couldn't hear what she said. It was too, I don't know. I'm distracted. I'm sorry.
Well done, ladies. Out there in the audience, you can rate that 0 to 10. I'm pretty sure it's a 10 across the board. But what we do now on the Shamanda Show is a little housekeeping. Why don't you let everyone know about what 2 games we're going to play today? Do you know what those games are?
We're going to play a little lame or game. And Shannon, what's the other one?
Acrosin. So anytime somebody says an acronym of any kind other than JD's name, starting now, they have to take a drink from their penalty drink.
What's an example of an acronym, just in case people aren't aware?
Okay, we're not starting now then?
No,
just said
no,
starting.
you already
You
did.
change
No,
those rules.
then I'm not giving you an example.
should.
See,
You
I'm
can't double stamp a
smarter
triple
than
stamp,
that,
Lloyd.
Mark.
Trying to catch you.
Okay,
Uh,
Retireholics, could you please give us an example?
Sure, because this is the way we roll. Arissa.
CBC.
Yes. So thank you, Justin. Justin's letting you know what's another game we play that you can let the audience know because they're part of it.
Chat bar champion. So the whole night, we're all going to be watching the chat bar. And then I think we get to vote first, and then the audience votes last on who wins after we pick the finalists, correct?
This chick knows her shit, man. She
Yeah.
knows how this thing works.
I'm on here every week, almost.
Almost.
Now, typically we would dive into some headlines. I don't know but this is your show. So if you
Yeah.
want-
So JD, I believe this part of the show, we're going to have you dive into some headlines. So can you tell us about some fun headlines for us?
That's how you do it right there.
Right.
That's how
Love
you do
it.
it.
right there.
Love it. Just pass. I'm supposed to be off tonight. I'm just
Yeah,
kicking
you are
back.
off.
I'm
This
just
is all you have.
just playing
I mean,
along.
there's just a couple of
Well,
things.
per that little intro from Bill, the news hit. I think Mark sent us a group text when he saw it. Human Interest raises 200 million in funding. I think that brings them up to like 350 plus $1 million. And I think that puts them at a $1 billion valuation. Maybe we'll talk some later about this because I've done
everything around me.
Yes,
Queen,
it
get the
does.
money.
Yes, it does.
Dollar bill, yo.
Kind of interesting. Maybe I'll give you guys some quick stats. I did a little research, and don't quote me on these numbers because I'm just kind of making them up through looking at backdoor data and different interviews and podcasts. Let's see. I'm thinking they have about 5,000 clients at this point. So it's kind of interesting if they've got 5,000 clients and they're valued at $1 billion.
Did you see Justin's, just really quickly to interrupt you, did you see Justin's chat about that? He has a question regarding the 500 clients. He wants to know if those 500 clients are like in the last 2 hours, because they tend to lose them that quickly.
Ooh, ouch. I like this. I like this guy.
That's
And I said
Nice.
5, I think they're up to about 5,000
Okay.
clients. And I think they make that. So the way their fee structure is, it's 50 basis points as a wrap. And they charge anywhere from like $1,400 a year to $1,800 a year in terms of like hard dollar fees. So I'm kind of guessing based on their size of clients, like say a 20-person plan with maybe $250,000 in assets, trying to guess at averages. They're probably making about $5K per client. So if they're making $5K per client on 5,000 clients, they're making 25 million in revenue. Their CEO, Jeff Schneebel, I don't know if I pronounced his last name right. I don't think he knows how to spell 401k. He's from outside the industry. He's a Silicon Valley venture capitalist, but he's claiming that they're setting a goal to get $100 million in revenue over the next 3 years.
100 million.
Yes. And then go public. So based on my math, they would need about 20,000 clients. They'd have to 4X what they've done so far. And I'm not suggesting they can't get there. I downplayed Guideline success and they've gotten to different places, but we can talk more about them later if we want to, but that's an update on them. It's the world we're living in. These Silicon Valley types. I think he's a Harvard grad, or at least the founder is a Harvard grad, Roger Lee. By the way, look up the founders, Roger Lee and Paul Sawaya. The CEO Schnebel's not the founder. He's just this hired gun CEO. But the two kids that started it, and I say kids because I think they're in their late 20s, maybe their early 30s when they started in 2015. And one of them has left. So he got paid big bucks. Insert Wu-Tang clip here. And the other one is still there, a chairman of the board, Roger Lee, and he's still a young guy in his 30s, $1 billion valuation. Frickin' these disruptors, they're out there. I'm really not sure what I think about them, but I'm not going to get on a soapbox and go off about that. What other headlines do we have? I saw Terrence Powers' firm, what's it called? Platinum 401k is now the pooled plan provider, or I'm going to say P3. Do I have to drink for P3? I forget those
Yeah, I
rules.
probably do.
Probably.
Because it's just so cool to say. I think I have to drink twice because I asked if I could say it or not. No.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you definitely
You said
do.
it twice.
He is the pooled plan provider for, get this, the One Digital pooled employer plan. So 2 bits of news there. Terrence gets the
I didn't
gig
hear
for
that.
that. I think Empower is going to be the record keeper. And then his little offshoot is the administrator. I forget what it's called, but his third-party administration firm is the administrator. And so, yes, One Digital has a pooled employer plan, and Terrence Powers, who's, he's a big PEP fan. I'll drink to that. Is running it. So that's kind of cool. And yeah, I don't know. That's all the news I got. Maybe you little Aspa, is that one?
Whoa, what did you just call us? That was
You got
not
way
a
better. That's
word.
no check
And
swing.
you just
Maybe you little Association Society of Actuaries and Pensionary want to
you better drink first, because you
wanna
didn't
plug-
quite stop, and then you called us ASS. So
want to plug some American Retirement Association stuff? Are there some conferences coming up? What do you want to plug? And then we'll move on from headlines.
So we have 2 conferences coming up. First, the National Association of Plan Advisors.
Oh, good job. I was worried there. You paused a lot. Napa Summit.
The summit is coming up in Vegas, and we're all going.
Who said that? Who said which one?
That was Amanda.
Oh, dang it.
And
You had it.
Then we have the American Society of Pension Professionals and Actuaries annual conference coming up in October in Washington, D.C., along with the TPA Growth Summit. Damn it. Along with the Growth Summit that Chad, yes, I know.
Chad. Woo-hoo.
Chad is on the committee. How's that
So-
going, Chad?
Chad's on the
It's
committee.
fantastic.
And Shannon and I are going to speak at annual. So you know that's going to be an amazing conference. So you better come, right? Like come.
So
Chad,
that's
if
what we
they-
have going on.
If they treat you
Oh,
like
and Kevin mentioned the National Institute of Pension. Hold on, a pension administrators business management conference. That's in September.
well,
Yeah,
Kevin's
also-
not. This is not the Kevin show, and
Oh,
he's
sorry.
not allowed to conferences. So I don't know what you're doing there.
You know,
Sorry.
what's really
Aaron's-
funny is
now-
us trying
now
not to
Aaron's
say acronyms.
As a host, I'm kind to everyone, JD.
It's actually your show. You can do whatever you want. But Chad, when you show up for that and you're kind of the new kid on the block, don't let these chicks like send you to get coffee and stuff like that. Like, you're
Hey,
legit.
no, I will happily go get them their coffee before their speaking gig at annual, and I will put so much booze in it that they will be falling down on stage. It'll be fantastic.
No, more than likely, Chad, if we ask you to get coffee, it'll be around 7 a.m. and we will say, we're dying. Please deliver coffee to this place. And it'll likely be, we can't get out of bed. We need some aspirin and coffee, please.
And there will be booze in it. Happy to do it.
We've had some headlines. We've had some banter. We've established the rules for the show. Shamanda or Amanda, I know you're the one that put this together. You've got kind of a subject, a vibe for the show. And I see several bullet points of things you like to talk about. So take it away, man. Tell me about.
Okay, we're going to talk about all the trends. So we've got a bunch of topics. If we like one, we can stay on it. If we hate it, we can skip it. And in the chat bar, if you guys want us to talk about other trends, we're going to wing it. So the first trend. All right. A lot of us are seeing takeover plans. What are we seeing as a trend? What are we noticing when we're looking at takeover plans? Shannon, you want to start?
So I think one of the biggest trends we're seeing in takeovers is obviously coming from, I will say, large bundled environments, people wanting more hands-on service. And one of the problems we're seeing, one of the trends is coming out of those types of environments and discovering that they have control group issues that they've had for several years. I'm currently working on a project right now that the issues date back to 94. So,
But wasn't
Yeah.
it better? Wasn't it better when they were? I feel like going to you as a third party administrator now, it's a pain in the ass because you're going to discover all these things that went wrong. Like their life was bliss with a bundled provider. They didn't even know things
Yeah.
were wrong.
What you don't know doesn't hurt you. Just
Right.
go on back. That's what they want
Son
to
of a
do.
bitch. Get back to
Now,
that.
Shannon, what are
bundled
they doing?
provider.
Are they actually in that scenario doing the corrections like they should, or are they like, hey, what can I get rid of?
when we discovered how many issues there were, and it all came about because of an acquisition of a much larger company. And so when they discovered that they had an issue, they came to us. And when we discovered how many issues there were, we said, guess what? We need a risk council now. And so my main function at this time has been to summarize. Oh man.
Said the big one. Continue your thought or go ahead, drink.
My main function at this point is to summarize our findings and then ask for guidance from the attorneys and what we're going to do when we apply to the Internal Revenue Service for forgiveness.
So
Can I-
Shannon.
See,
yep.
isn't this why people are like, why am I going to use a third party administrator? They dive in there, they find all these problems, they cost me all this money. Come on.
Well,
you know?
they actually figured out. They went to
No,
a.
God, please, no.
They went
no,
to a
no.
conference for the. What is the human resource?
Sure.
Distract
Oh,
HR.
shoot.
that was a good one. That was a good one.
You're
Nice.
awful.
So they went to a conference and they figured out on their own that they had an issue and then came to me to solve the issue. So
Do you?
thank
let
you,
me,
Will. I thought it was nice too.
let me ask you guys. When we kind of do a tightrope walk with this, how on taking over plans and bringing them onto your business model, how deep do you dig to find things? What's your process like? Because sometimes I'll admit to the world right now, I'm telling my people like, look, in my retainer, it actually says, hey, your past problems are not really my responsibility because I may not be able to uncover them. And so sometimes I'm afraid of what we look to find. And if we look too hard to find things, so I'd like to get your guys' kind of vibe on that. Like, how deep do you look?
We don't dig. We don't dig. The only problem, and I'll tell you, JD, the way that we find it is by asking the ownership questions that you're supposed to ask anyway.
Every year.
Yes.
We ask
That
it every
is
year.
bizarro to me.
That is the
It's-
only way that we find the issues is by asking that question. If there's issues with testing and things like that in prayer, we do not dig for that at all. I am not going to go looking for dead bodies.
I love it that, sorry, go ahead.
Nope. Say it, Chad.
How about over?
Jump in, Chad.
Nope, Amanda, you have to answer that question.
Actually, I'm the host and you were talking and he
That's
interrupted
true.
you. So now you get to go.
I was going to say, I love it how every person bitching in the chat bar and on this show right now are the third-party administrators that make their living off fixing shit and finding problems. And here we are, the first thing we announce in trends with takeovers is problems, problems, problems. I'm going to say it's true, but here's what my comment back is. What I have found in probably the last, I don't know, 10% of the takeovers that I've been looking at this year is that the human resources person turned over during the pandemic. As they cut people, they brought somebody else and they put that hat on their head and said, I know you don't normally do payroll, but you're going to do this for us right now. You're the CFO. You're going to take care of this. And that's where a lot of the mistakes are coming from right now is they didn't know how to run the
I love
plan.
that.
That's a
point,
great
Chad.
perspective.
That's great.
Yeah, that may be why we're seeing an uptick too. Although we've taken over a group of plans lately, and I think maybe Will or someone else in the chat said, I'm taking over plans that never even had a plan document. Like we're taking over ones where, we have a combo plan and the DC plan is the plan is sitting. I know, I got it. I'm gonna finish my thought. No, I didn't. I was going to just finish with that, but we don't even see, like, there's been no trust accounting there. I don't know how you start if you never had a breakout of participant accounts. I'm like, well, what did you get? Can I see your annual valuation package? Well, we got a 5,500 from the prior third-party administrator, nothing else. And I'm like, this is crazy to me. We worry about so much. And so, and then you're not even getting that. So we've also seen an uptick in crazy takeover situations. And honestly, the advisor, so how do you handle this? Yes, Mark, I'll get to you next. I try to call the advisor if they brought us in first and talk to them first about it out of respect. And I'm wondering, how do you guys handle that with referral sources that brought you in and you're seeing the issue? Do you go directly to plan sponsor right away? Or are you taking it a different avenue? And advisors in the chat, tell us how you prefer it. Now, Mark, go.
Brandon, it's not. It's fucking
That-
hard, bro.
that-
It's great.
People are getting seizures and asking us to shut off the
We
filters.
can't because now I have a white sheet behind me.
You can't.
Nobody would see it still. You're cropped.
I wasn't attempting to answer your question. You guys were just going down some pretty crazy rabbit holes and, let's try to keep this show loose and fun and understandable. I was just going to say, trends in takeovers are because of restatements. Let's just call a spade and say people are trying to save a couple $1,000 and they're like, oh, I got to pay this third party over here $1,200 if we take it over here, and we don't have to do that. And so
where do you not have to take? What do you mean? Where are you not having to pay if you
not to get into our fee structure, but if we have enough in assets coming over, then we can waive our setup costs, right?
From a revenue sharing.
Right. So I'm just saying that you said trend. So takeover plans are occurring more because
are you doing that, Mark? You little sleazy son of a bitch. Are you walking into a prospect and saying, hey, have you paid for your restatement yet? Because what's it going to cost? And if you come to me, we're going to waiving your install. You'll be right on the new Cycle 3 docs. Like, hey, let's do some business. Is that you?
I'm asking the question.
JD, we learned that from you.
I was about to say, JD, who taught them that?
And not me.
I mean, as long as you disclose, you go, hey, here's your restatement cost. Here's the revenue sharing I got. I'm fully offsetting it. That's not sleazy. That's actually
I hide all the revenue sharing stuff. I just tell them it's free.
Do you really?
No. Jesus, Amanda.
As we wrap takeovers, can I ask the sales guys here in the room, in terms of unearthing bad stuff like errors in the past, is that part of your strategy sometimes when you're trying to close a plan or get to know a prospect to like find out that things are fucked up and let them know they are?
I'll answer first. If my advisor partner is not on the existing plan, then I'm going to dig a little bit deeper. Just being honest, if they are on the plan, I'm not going to dig too deep because I don't want to uncover something that they've made a mistake on in that process. But yeah, JD, if I'm trying to get the advisor in the door, I'm going to look for mistakes that their team has made, that the existing 401k has made, and lift open that hood and make sure that client knows these are not things that would have happened under our watch.
Right. And I liked what Hackler said. He goes, it's kind of a delicate balance, right? You don't want to be the classic kind of third-party administrator vibe of, oh God, everything's so complicated with these people. But at the same time, if you can show them that, hey, something's maybe not being done right, it is a delicate balance, Hackler, because you don't want to be the scare tactic person, but you want to be the educational one. So, all right, Amanda, sorry.
If we can get to plans, make sure they're in compliance and do what we're really good at doing without freaking being crazy.
The hard part is, or maybe not the hard part in terms of the balance, is usually you don't have to dig very far. Like you guys said, a plan came to me to us right now that are asking us to fix an issue. And BB, this is one that I reached out to you on, that they haven't completed an audit or done a tax filing in the last 3 years. And I'm like, okay, we can fix that. That's not a huge deal. And then I found out they didn't do testing. I'm like, okay, we can still fix that. Oh, that does not count. That is not.
You referred to somebody. I didn't hear what you said.
Brad Bartels.
Oh, that totally counts.
Oh, that counts.
Yeah.
To finish my point, I asked the question of ownership, and I found out there are seven control groups, not 7 businesses, 7 different control groups.
Holy cow.
Seven different control groups of 18 businesses.
How many?
7 controlled groups.
Didn't hear the first 12 times you said it.
All right.
That sucks.
Okay, so
Amanda,
we move on to another topic.
Yes.
Yeah. So Shannon, pick another one of the list.
So I want to say, what are we seeing?
It's game time.
Oh, dang it! I was trying to get the 7 in there.
I think it is.
What? Don't
Let's
let Justin tell you what to do. He doesn't run this show.
It's game time. It's name or game, Amanda. It's game time. Name or game.
All right.
A few silly comments about takeovers, and now we're playing games.
Justin wants to get everybody lit. Okay, so we're going to do labor game differently.
You'll get your CE credit at the end by putting in the code Robe Guy. Sorry, go ahead. Oh, God damn it.
You know what? Text it to JD's number. We'll provide that at the end. Okay. All right. So lame or game, we're going to do it differently because you guys kind of cheat on lame and game and you figure out what other people are going to say. No, there's no cheating. You have to say your lame or game right after I ask the question, and then we'll go to each person to say why. You're stepping on my life's work. I love you, Mark, and it is my favorite game. You're pretty awesome at it. I'm
Yeah,
probably
I know.
Oh, that's her kissing your butt, Mark.
no, I
Seriously.
actually do love
Totally
it. It's my
kicking
favorite
it.
part. All right. And in the chat, I want you to immediately say lamer game. Okay. So going on the trends, we're going to keep the lamer game on the trends path. We're going to talk about trends in social media. All right. So the first one I've noticed on LinkedIn, there are a few influencers who did a lot of video. Other people used to do white papers, whatever. And now there's a lot, there are a few influencers, I think we know them, who did video. And now it looks like a lot of people are doing video on LinkedIn. So 3-minute videos, is that lame or is that game? Or is it like the old newsletter?
Game.
We're not
just
allowed
go
to.
random?
We're not allowed to speak.
We just
You
shoot it
guys
out.
say it
What'd
back.
you say?
Oh, lame.
Oh, what was the question?
Game.
Video
I'm not-
on LinkedIn. Is it like the old newsletter or is it game?
Old newsletter. Lame.
Game. It's game.
Okay. All right. Shannon, say why
I
it's
still don't know the
game.
question.
Mark, you're such a bad participant and I always support you.
My questions are quick. Just questions.
Go. Okay, Shannon, why do you think it's game?
I think it lets people
Oh.
get to know the authentic you much more easy. People do business with people they know, like, and trust. I think video lets people get to know you much easier than just typing out a post.
Okay, and did someone say lame? JD, you said lame, right? Okay, why
JD
do you say
said
lame?
lame.
It's like the old newsletter?
Once you're doing something that everyone else is doing, it's crossed the line and it's lame, and you got to move on and try a different way.
Your
Going
field,
back
is,
to
the field
mailers.
of view is too narrow. Everybody is doing it. There's still so few people doing it. So few.
I would
Right, and
also
it's mixed in the
Shannon's son does it, and his videos are awesome.
I think
Kiss
that so many videos are terrible, and
Thank
if they're
you,
more
Mark.
than if they're more than 3 minutes long, it's super lame. But under 3 minutes, I'm game. All right, next one. What about those people that post personal holiday vacation things on LinkedIn? Lame or game? Everybody just answer.
lame.
Game.
Game.
Yeah, game. I'm going game.
I'm
Lame.
going game.
Hey, Mark, you didn't answer.
I did answer. I said lame.
Okay, Justin and Mark, why you guys think lame?
Save it for your personal social media. I don't know. That's the best I could come up with. I'm impartial.
I don't know. So here's my rationale behind that. I honestly don't care. I don't know if you post a picture of like, look at me, I'm in Tahoe, yay for me. Fine. But when there's some sort of relation or like you're trying to relate it back to business, like I'm sitting out here in nature and it reminds me of, then I'm like,
Nice.
hey, you guy or girl. No. And that's all I said.
I like that, Mark.
Oh man, Mark nailed it. Chad, do you want to add or are you?
I'm writing it in the chat bar. All you fools just said, be personable. Let people know who you really are. Be your authentic you. But then you're like, don't show anybody who you are. Only 3-minute increments. Come on.
Okay.
My family is a big part of who I am. Now I agree completely with Mark, but
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think
post shit on LinkedIn, but that's my opinion.
yeah, I don't mind it at all, but I agree with Mark. Okay, Instagram. What about people who pronounce their love for their spouse on Instagram? Lame or game?
Lame.
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 Are we
I could say
talking
I've
about
never
like?
done that.
Yeah, no, lame.
Chad?
Lame.
Did
For sure.
anybody say game? Why do people always do it?
Because they actually, I don't know. Never mind.
I think it's let me just say it's pressure from the outside. You think like people care and you think it matters. It doesn't. If you love somebody, just tell them, just enjoy them. Like
That-
You're
Yeah.
putting way too much effort into something so
Agreed.
small. If they want to express their love for their spouse, do it.
Amanda, my fight back though would be, and this is something I've thought of recently, at least on Facebook, you get Facebook memories, right? And I
Yeah.
enjoy so much when I see like my daughter's third
Oh,
birthday,
dude.
or it might be kind of cool in 10 years to see some post about my wife and I's 10-year anniversary that we had 10 years before. Like I don't do any of that stuff, but that might be kind of cool. But that would be
Just-
the only reason I see for that.
just keep all that up here, buddy. That's a memory you make with your
just-
significant
You
other.
keep it in your phone on your pictures.
Oh my gosh, I love the chat bar though. You guys gotta see because theirs is getting them reactive. Okay,
I
the
have
last
seen, hang on, I've seen husbands get in trouble from their wives
Yeah.
because it's like their anniversary and they didn't post on social that, oh, I love my
Yeah.
wife, it's our anniversary. And they actually get in trouble. And I've had buddies that I hang out with go, oh shit, I've got to do a post.
Yeah.
I got to do a post
Oh my
because it's my
God.
anniversary.
I ran into
I'm
that.
saying
I
that's
ran into
lame.
that. I ran into that recently. It made me laugh.
So lame.
I feel like I need
Uh,
a disclaimer anytime I say anything romantic.
Or you
like,
got mad, huh?
we're not great. So why did you get in trouble, Mark? Because you didn't do it?
No. Friends of ours. I heard it live and in color. Like, you haven't done anything yet, and I was kind of like, wait, this happens in real life. I just started laughing. I'm like, you guys are stupid.
Hey, if it's not on Insta, then it didn't happen.
There you
Right?
go.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Last-
Not true.
Okay, last lamer game. Okay, we said pronouncing love of adults or spouse not cool, but what about posting your kids' first day of school picture? Lame or game on Instagram or Facebook, not on LinkedIn. Game or lame?
Okay, I'm a little bit game on that.
I'm
I
so
want to say
lame.
lame. I want to say lame, but I feel like an asshole.
Jordan.
Lame, lame.
All right, here-
Lame.
Here's what I'll say that because I don't post on social a lot at all, and if I do, like, again, it is my all that's on my social is my kids. Like, I don't because I don't. Yeah. So, but
Agreed.
I see all of those and I'm like, oh my God, nobody cares. So I think that influences me to not do it. But I
Oh.
definitely take a picture of her to have for my own records in my knowledge base. But I just don't tell everybody she started school today because no one else cares but me. Like, that's why it works.
I
right?
totally posted it today and I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, very last one of the whole game, lame or game. So we've talked about spouses, we've talked about kids. What about creating a separate Instagram account for your dog? Lame
Oh,
or
geez.
game?
Lame as shit.
Like, what did you just say,
Game.
Justin?
Game.
Lame as shit.
I'm game. I'm totally game.
Okay.
So lame.
Okay, here's the deal. I wouldn't do it, but I love some of my friends' dogs' Instagrams and Facebook. Like, I love Bougie Ripley. I do. I love some of the pets but I wouldn't do it because I don't have time or the interest in it.
I can't understand that.
It's
I never
crazy that
will.
people are able to monetize that too.
I made a lot of money on them.
I'm with Brandon. I love everything about dogs. I love my little chihuahuas, especially my little Bella. And if she had an Instagram, I would be the best thing in the world. I need to start one. Like, I should do it. I have to do it.
It's a
All
terrible
right.
thought, JD. Please do not do it.
No.
Well, this was the most active lame or game chat bar, Mark. So I'm sorry you hated the game, but it was.
I'll also say that a few of your questions, if you went back from the past 6 years or whatever I've been doing this, you recycled some of my questions.
Hey,
so,
it's trends, so shushy.
okay.
It must have been
Social
great
media
questions.
just for pets.
I was
All right.
surprised. I was surprised when you talked about LinkedIn. Sherry Fitz was in the comments. I'm like, oh shit, we've got the expert on social media here. What's she gonna say? And I think Sherry agrees with me where she draws the line on. I go to LinkedIn to do business. Like, I go there to learn about my industry. I go there to see headlines about my industry, to make myself a better business person and stay in tune. And so I don't want to see your fucking vacation and I don't want to see your kids. Put that shit on Facebook and Instagram and whatever. So that was my two. I never got to answer that one. Sorry. All right,
Hey,
Amanda,
JD,
sorry.
you've got
Take it away.
some preaches. You've got some JD rules on there, so they must agree with you. Correct. Okay, so Shannon now gets to pick another all the trends subject, and then
Okay,
you guys
so-
get to pick them.
Here's one I want to do is what we're seeing with trends. Well, actually, I want to talk about predictions on trends for Secure 2.0. And I think that ties into trends that we're already seeing. Oh, damn it.
Setting every cat up for retirement
Right.
existence, I think.
Damn it, Jim. Okay, so that's what I want to talk about because I think that the original act gave us some things. I also think that we have some trends happening with some of the state-run retirement plans, like California Savers.
Okay. Yeah.
And then potential
Nice.
trends that are going to come with the new proposed regulations that may or may not ever pass. That's the topic that I want to talk about.
Okay, so you want to cover it all, the past
Yeah,
and the
I do.
2.0. Okay.
Isn't
Yeah.
2.0 all trends, because nothing is solidified now and we're trying to see what, I mean, if you look at any of the bullet points, every single one of them is a trendy topic.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, aren't you excited about, like, I'm excited about it. And there's some TPAs that are not excited about it, but I'm excited about some of the potentials that can come. What?
Third-party
Third-party
administrators.
Damn it.
Is this a boring one? My first thought would be on a trend with, oh, I thought I got caught on something, would be, it's going to be interesting if the mandatory auto enroll for startup for new plans hits. Like every single sucker you do going forward will be automatic enrollment. And I don't know if I'm actually in favor of that. I think that there's small plans that don't have the people and the resources and the human resources department, and having an automatic enrollment plan, especially with automatic escalation, is a pain in their ass. What's Mark doing?
Yeah. What is
Wanna know-
Mark?
I
He's
just
You want
gotta
to know
say
Chad's
something.
opinion on this or what?
I'm spazzing out because here we go again, being the pessimistic third party administrator nerds that we are. Where I think if we're thinking of like utopia and we want to use auto enrollment, can't we just loosen the goddamn restrictions a little bit and make it easier so if people screw up that it makes it a little bit quicker for them to fix it? We don't come down on them. Like it's got to
Like
be
try hard and then self-correct.
like the old
Yes.
college try.
Yeah,
Like
you're on
yeah.
Good.
I
good.
agree, Mark.
Chad's
I
on
think
mute. I love
I
that.
think that auto enrollment is utopia, but we need some room for self-correction.
Hey, Mark.
Why
sorry-
can't we just
sorry-
embrace technology for once?
Sorry that the
No,
retirement
Chad,
plan-
you don't get a say here because you flip flop on this all the time, and I'm not ready for it.
Sorry that the
I
retirement
honestly
plan
flip
rules
on
and
it, too.
regulations can't be run like your fucking college dorm room. Like there have to be rules to things. So
I never lived
I
in a college
flip-flop,
dorm
too.
room, so
But
I
Mark,
know that
what Mark's saying
advisors
is,
love it. Oh, go ahead.
yeah,
was-
no, I just if they could just look past, yeah, exactly, Chad. See how it feels. If they could look past like the initial concept and look into how can it be successful and making things a little bit simpler on how it needs to operate, then I think that would be fantastic. That's all.
oh my
Okay.
God. I've been
Okay,
chatting
so
to
Brad-
myself and the panelists for this whole fucking show.
So
God damn.
Brad has a great question. What do you guys think about auto enroll based on number of participants?
You
Like,
get one for that, JD.
like
Oh,
over
shit.
100 people must auto enroll, and less than a certain number don't have to have auto enrollment. Do you guys like that better then, or no?
Sure.
Thanks, Brad, for the
I think that's a little better. I don't know if it's got to be 100. I mean, you could bring it all the way down to 20
How about-
or something.
How about 25? 25.
Okay,
maybe?
that's the number. That's the magic number. They'll get it right at 25.
Yeah.
I like 22.
You should be a politician, Amanda. That'd be awesome. That'd be a really good setting up cats for retirement act.
I do feel like I love this stuff more and more as I understand it, because I'm sort of with Mark. It's just like the tax code, right? We constantly talk about it getting more simple, more simple. I don't know that this is more simple, but I'd love to get there. At least for those who try, I'd like some more self-correction ability.
But there-
You guys
my,
think that
my point back to Todd earlier is that in terms of self-correction, it's not going to be identified. It's not going to be caught. We talked about this earlier. It's going to be sitting in a bundled solution or a data only tech base. It's never going to be addressed.
right?
So
kinda
if we
like
do
saying-
want it to work, we need to embrace simple technology that exists. If the fucking payroll providers would play game with the record keepers, this issue wouldn't exist.
Yeah, it'd be too
Well, there's
exclusive.
only,
a
okay,
rule.
wait. There's only one payroll provider that doesn't play nice with anybody.
Not true. Well, with
There's
anybody.
two.
With anybody. There's other payroll providers that try to play nice with some people.
I think the two
And-
big guys.
Who are
don't
you
play
talking?
great.
Who are you talking about, Shannon?
Yeah.
That doesn't play nice with anybody.
No, that plays nice sometimes.
I mean, like, I am not going to say, I do not.
I'm just trying to get you to say the
Yeah.
initials.
I know,
Never mind.
and I do not know what their
look at
Automatic
acronym
data
is, so I'm not going to say
Look
it.
at Jason. Look at Jason's chat. I think he answered on
he
behalf
did.
of
He
Shannon.
Jason answered the question.
Drink, Jason. What about college savings and the matching from the employer? Is that going to be a
Drastic.
massive trend? Is that going to be a big deal? Or are you guys going to be talking about that in point of sales and design calls going forward?
No.
Mark's
Really?
I
not.
think
Not
it'd
at
be
all.
big, no.
Right now, I'll be
I
talking
think
about
it's a
it with
cool feature.
advisors, but not very rarely in a point of sale.
Honest
Okay, what about
answers.
the increased tax credits?
Oh,
For sure.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a big win.
in the proposed law, yes. The increase,
Is it?
like the increased tax credits already are a bigger deal than they used to be. And if they go up as much as 2.0 is suggesting, then I think definitely it's going to be a game changer.
I think, I think Brad's a CPA or certified public accountant.
Yep.
And
Oh,
others.
drink.
Counts.
Oh,
Nope,
that was
drink,
not a
Amanda.
check swing.
That
That
was
was
a
not a
sin.
check swing.
I
That was
think
not a
that
check
if third-party administrators and advisors can get
Oh.
in front of those, I said third-party administrators and advisors
I
can
wanted
get in
to
front
say,
of
Fran, I
those
wanted to say
certified
support
public
more.
accountants. I think that increase in those tax credits are going to be substantial because they will pay for that plan for a much longer period of time. I think it's going to be bigger than we think, as long as we can get in front of the people who understand it.
So I want to hear, I really want to hear what you guys have to say because CalSavers is affecting you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh God, was that?
Does that count?
No.
We decided that?
No.
Okay.
Okay,
It's
so
not-
That's
is
not,
that-
how can that not be short for California?
It's not an
an
initial
Not an
list.
abbreviation.
Not an acronym.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, fine, Shannon. If I
So-
would have said it, it would have been.
That's an
So isn't it
abbreviation.
affecting your startup business? Like people not wanting to go to that program versus wanting to go to 401ks? And I think we're going to see that spread across the country in all
Yeah.
of these different places.
Tell
Sure,
us, you
absolutely.
guys.
I actually think, I mean, we've seen a higher uptick in startup plans for sure.
Because they don't want to be part of that.
Yeah, well, they just realize how much they involvement they have to manage it themselves rather than having a 401k team do it.
And
And not to mention, go ahead, Chad.
the truth of it is, at this point, California has only been enforcing on groups with over 50 employees. There's not a ton of businesses with over 50 employees that don't already offer some form of qualified plan. It's going to have a greater impact when we get to 5 or
22.
more employees, which is in 2022. But
2022.
to your point, Amanda,
Yeah.
yeah, there are a lot of folks, especially advisors, who are starting to have these conversations. And the general thought is, I don't want something else that the government has their hands in at that level. And so I'm looking at simples. Damn it. I'm looking at 401ks. And so they are setting up plans to not have to be subject to CalSavers rules.
Right.
Yeah.
But we have
And-
not seen the great impact. I mean, yes, we have, and I'll toot these guys' horns. These guys have already achieved their bonus goals for this year. We have more plans this year than we did last year already. We're already crushing 2019. All of these things, but I'm not contributing that to CalSavers as much as I will be next year, because when I look at that plan intake, almost none of them are subject to CalSavers yet.
You guys have been crushing it this year, and I really appreciate you for that.
So
I'm
is
getting-
that
I'm getting
just
I'm getting
setting every community up for Retirement Enhancement Act? Is that why? Because you can put a plan in later?
Jason, you bite your tongue. Sorry.
Yeah, I would say that I honestly thought that was, Amanda, that was going to be a bigger conversation point, but like, I don't know, these guys can speak for themselves, but writing 2020 plans in 2021 wasn't as much of a factor as I thought it would be. A lot of the folks that considered it ended up not doing it. So some did their taxes already. Some they just didn't want to, have to deal with some of the things. And so they did something this year, but they didn't want to deal with last year. So we showed the benefits, but not a lot of people leverage that.
I agree, Mark. We've had the same.
We have
issue
had
where we've looked at
tons.
it, but the CPA had already filed a return or something happened. But I think it's
Certified
damn
public
it.
accountant.
I think it's probably bigger on plans where you wouldn't want to defer, because on an employee deferral, you can't do it. So that might be why.
You know, we talked about this on a past show, but I think you guys would find this pretty interesting. In California now, when a client says they want to terminate their plan with us, it's a weird, awkward moment, right? Because they're saying, hey, we want to terminate our plan. It's not working for us. People aren't participating, et cetera, et cetera. And now to disclose to them, we have to say, hey, just so you know, the state mandates that you have a retirement plan. Are you sure you want to shut this thing down?
Oh, that's interesting.
Right? I thought you'd like that, Amanda. So that's a conversation we're having with our clients. And I feel kind of greasy about it, but at the same time, it's the truth.
True.
It's the
You're
truth.
protecting them.
Yeah. So interesting.
You know what?
Wow,
so-
that's
I
a
find
point that I wouldn't have
interesting-
thought of.
Hackler
What I
says I'm
find
greasy.
interesting is most
Will.
That's
I only
Chechen,
said
you're
the
good.
word T. Most third-party administrators that you talk to right now are seeing
Brandon.
an increase in sales this year over last year, over the year
Huge.
before, which is kind of amazing seeing what we've gone through. You're still seeing new plans put on, and it's not just in states that have things like CalSavers.
No.
It's really all over the country.
Well, and when you think logically about what happened for so many businesses, they cut overhead, they cut cost and fear, and then many of them continued to succeed. So all of a sudden they were in this situation where their liabilities were down and their revenues were up. And now what do? They're certified public accountant. That was totally a check
nice
swing.
catch.
That was a very
solid.
You say
No, he
two
didn't
of the
say it.
three.
Oh, I
I
thought it
said
was good.
C.
Sorry, Chad.
And then stop. Hey, I need to name drop because he asked a question in the chat bar, but Preston Rutledge is here right now. And he said, will the tax credit move the needle? And my
Hey,
response in the chat bar
Preston.
was, no, I don't. I have not run into a single
You
business
argued
that
with Preston?
decides to start
How
a plan
dare you?
because of the tax credit. Now,
How
are
about-
they pumped when they know that it's enhanced so they get more out of what they're paying? Absolutely. When we encourage them to pay billable costs, they love it. But are they starting a plan with that in mind in any way, shape, or form? No.
How about
You're not
the
starting
fact-
with in mind, but you don't think that could tip the
It
scale if they're on the
helps, tips
fence
the
about the
scale,
cost?
but
I
they're not.
definitely think it does.
I think it helps. I think it
How-
helps. I think that if the new 2.0 passes, that the increased tax credit will definitely
All
help.
right, JD, go for it.
How about the
I
fact
cut JD
that
off.
no, it's all good. I kind of like this. It's really relaxing for me to like.
I love
usually
it.
Overpowering everything. I like just kicking back. What was I gonna fucking say? Oh, how about
Welcome to the
businesses
shit show.
how about businesses that now the majority, if not all of their employees are working remote, and maybe they're not having the same office space that they used to have before. I do feel like the overhead of running a business is lowering in COVID, and therefore maybe that frees them up to say, hey, maybe I'll do that plan or throw that match in or do whatever to keep my remote employees happy. I'll end it with this. Like, because my employees are remote, it definitely makes me more sensitive to their happiness because they're siloed. You know, you don't get to see them in the office. And so anything
Because Shannon's trying to steal him from you, JD.
Yeah. anything you can do, like a benefits plan, might help business owners or business decision makers feel more comfortable with their staff. I'm just reaching for
Is this all
I
things
actually think
you're
that's
considering as a business owner, JD?
yeah. Well,
Okay.
yeah, for sure. Mhm. JD is a sensitive soul. Yes, I am.
Okay,
Fuck you,
so
Daniela.
Wait a minute. We haven't played Wheel of Ice. And I
Oh,
know
wow,
Brandon
good.
has it ready.
Oh,
Shit.
wow. Thanks a
It was
lot.
like-
Thanks a lot, Shannon.
Wheel
I had
of
20
Ice.
I had a $20 bet with Brand that you were going to forget it. So
Yeah,
I
just
didn't bring
lost.
an ice, but I
No.
have.
Shannon, you have to instruct Brandon to spin it.
Brandon, spin the Wheel of Ice.
There you go.
Gonna be all of us.
Yeah, you're right, Justin.
I haven't had one of these in weeks.
Because I've done them every week.
Wait, Justin, come on, give him a double him up. We haven't had a double up in a while. It's got to be. God dang. it.
Aw.
Who made the
Rigged.
comment on Florida
Nobody?
and pass-through entities? Kevin Reynolds. Kevin, I need
Okay.
to chat with you about that.
As you guys are oh wow, that was fast. That was faster than I anticipated.
Hey,
In the chat
Amanda,
bar,
I'm
we want
I'm so sorry, Amanda. I never thought in our life that on Retireholics that someone with Preston Rutledge's stature and reputation would say, I enjoyed 14 acronyms worth of larceny. He's drinking along with us.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, Preston.
Preston, who paid you to be here?
That's not a
Not
question
really
to
him.
ask, Amanda.
It was
not-
me.
It's not really Preston, it's my son. But
Okay, so chat bar, because we like to have you can list a trend that you want us to talk about, and we will. So
we have 9 minutes.
yeah, I know we're going to talk fast. So Retireholics, we sent you a list of 6 trends. Shannon and I each picked one, and you guys can pick one if you want.
Wow.
Or Shannon gets to pick another one.
Wow.
Now I
I
gotta
don't
go
think-
back and look at your email because I figured
No.
the host
We're
would
not
be bringing
there.
things up.
I have one ready to go. I have one
All right.
ready to go.
Yeah, I didn't read that email, so
I love you. That's usually me.
what was the question?
Okay, Shannon, go.
This
Okay,
chain is
I wanna
beyond
go
long
with-
because of
I want to go with staffing trends because I think that our industry as a whole, both in the financial advisor space and the third-party administrator space. Why are you rubbing my nose?
Brandon, can you play one of those drunk things you got, the drunk memes? Because Amanda's getting there, I feel like. Look
No,
at her.
I'm
She's
not. No,
literally-
I've had one drink. I got to go to something.
Sorry, go on.
remember, today.
Whoa.
Shannon.
So
What?
I want
Calm
to know
down,
what you
you
see as
drunk.
trends in employment because most third-party administrators that you talk to are all looking to hire, and there's not enough people to hire that are in our industry. So how are we going to solve this problem as we grow the number of plans because Congress wants to increase coverage? How are
Virtual.
we
you
gonna-
just
how are we
give up.
gonna
You
increase-
just pass them all the human interest and say, get out there and
By-
be somebody.
By the way,
Okay.
if you're weird like me, go to LinkedIn and start looking at all the people in charge at Human Interest and look at their look at their career
You're
path.
awful.
Look at their career path and see if you recognize any of them, if they've ever been in the industry, if they know jack shit, because they don't. They're
Good
all
catch,
Silicon
Justin.
Valley, Harvard, Stanford grads. Virtual, Shannon, because of COVID, I can hire administrators from all 50 states. And
Yes.
so before I used to have to look directly in the Bay Area, and now I can branch out. So I feel like hiring staffing is easier.
But what the problem is, JD, is people in the Midwest are now having staffing problems from people on the coast that were paying way more because the cost of living was higher on the coast. So now
cash rules everything around me. Queen, get the money. Dollar bill, yo.
but what I'm saying is it's becoming there are too many jobs. If you look at the third party administrators, there are too many jobs and too little people.
So it sounds like a you problem.
Hackler
It is.
said something.
It is Hackler because, Shannon, you kind
No,
of
but
called me out.
I will say this, that we submitted a job to the U of A Eller College, which is the largest college of business in the state of Arizona. And Shannon, I'll stick up for you, even though you did no prep for this show at all. I will say that my girlfriend there did say that there are more job opportunities than there are graduates coming out of business school. So what you're experiencing is real, friend.
It's not, and it's not necessarily me. It's all of
It's
my
I am. Oh,
it's
yeah,
all of my friends.
Me
like,
too.
Every third party administration firm is looking to hire people. Plus,
It's
the
because we need
financial
people to
advisory-
run, Shannon. We need people to be able to go immediately. That's why you're hiring,
Yes.
right? You're looking at 2020 work, you're looking at 2020 inbound, and you're saying, I need people immediately. And the industry doesn't have a ton of people who are educated in what we do to do the work.
Right.
No, Chad, we're even looking for people. My friends
Okay,
are
Shannon,
looking
I have-
for people to train.
I have the
and they
answer
can't
for
even find
everyone.
those.
Well, I just gave you the U of A example.
I have the
which
answer.
is
I have the
no.
solution for everybody. Okay.
Mhm.
And
Merge with
first of
plan
all,
design.
I
Merge
apologize.
with human interest.
No, I apologize because I am from California. So to me, when I look out,
drunk.
everywhere's cheaper, right? So besides like maybe New York, and so cost of living in California is so high, we pay people a lot more than other states. So it's an opportunity for us in California. But the answer is you just go to one of those companies, you outsource this shit to India, bro. It'll be sick.
I'm not going to say the abbreviation of the third-party administrator that does all of that, but yes, that's what some of
I'm
them are
not sure
doing.
that's an abbreviation, Chad.
There's
I
lots
think
of
it is.
What
There's
about
lots of-
advisory forums? I want to hear from the advisors in the chat.
the
Are you guys
advisors-
experiencing a struggle in hiring team members as well? Yes or no?
I mean, in dealing with the advisor side of the American Retirement Association, they're
They
wanting
say
to pull
they're
more
saying-
people- they're wanting to pull more people into our industry as well, and they're having the same struggles.
Well, I
There's
will plug the the American Retirement Association, because they are trying to look at opportunities to educate people in colleges. Hey, no way!
I
I
thought that
stopped
was a
that.
check swing.
No, that was
Yeah.
shenanigans. Brandon,
I'll be honest. I feel like JD has done a fantastic job building out plan design, but we are not in a position to bring on multiple junior folks and train them. We're
Right.
just
Too
not. We don't.
complicated.
The third-party administrative community doesn't have that built into their
No.
team.
so
And
that's what we're gonna try to do.
That's what
just
you're
like
gonna
Chad,
have to do.
We're
You
gonna
know what the
take,
problem
we're
with
gonna
that is?
Juniors and
overstaff,
teach them.
and
I'm
that's
gonna be-
exactly
I'm gonna
right.
be
Even
a-
on the sales side.
I'm gonna be a pessimist. I'm gonna be an old guy pessimist. The problem with that is multifaceted. One is our business is so complicated that you can't train someone in a course of months, right? It takes years for someone
Sure.
to actually be able to do a quality job as an administrator. And then secondly, I'm going to bitch on the younger generation. They don't want to put in that time.
Oh,
they
you
wanna
do
come
sound
out-
like Shannon. Here you
Yeah,
two go.
they don't wanna
Here,
put in
how
that
do I get
time.
next to Chad.
They don't want to learn it. They don't want to be paid
That's
that lower
not
wage to learn it, to have a
true.
career in the future. They want the instant success, the trophy for everybody. And so it's a problem, man. It's a problem.
Thank you,
Jordan.
Jordan.
Olds.
I don't
olds,
think
love it.
so.
Yeah, it's tough. By the way, who wants to be a freaking administrator for the rest of their life? Those
A
people.
lot of people.
Why
They're
Those
a
are
golden
people.
breed,
Those
man.
are a great
Okay.
job, dude. Intern.
don't
Why do
exist
you think
anymore.
that my son
Math?
went into? Why do
The
you
answer,
think
the
that my
answer
son
is
went into
quite,
financial
the answer is
advising?
quite simple now that I've thought about it for the past 8 minutes of nonstop talking. If you can't figure it out and you can't handle it, just sell yourself to future plans and call it a day.
Call it a day.
Exactly.
Hey, Will's point is, hey, it's just not our industry, and I totally agree with you. I do think the certified public accountants, I think all financial services. That's why I wanted to see if advisors had this.
Go,
But
go
they
to
have
college. Go to
Collegiate
college.
courses to get them there.
Go to
Yeah.
college.
Different.
Hey kids, you want to be a third party administrator? Do compliance
Well,
testing at
did you see
55.
what-
JD, why do you
JD.
think that's more sexy?
the bees-
or less
it's the bee's
sexy than
knees.
Okay.
being a certified public
Okay,
accountant?
listen,
It's not less
Amanda, why do
sexy.
you think my son went to be a financial advisor
Yeah.
instead of taking over TriStar and becoming a third-party administrator?
Hey,
AI.
Because it's
AI
a
to
hell
piss
of
you
a
off.
lot sexier.
AI will solve it all. AI will solve it all. We'll get robots to do this shit. You've
oh
got
my gosh,
one.
we have hits.
You've got 1
and-
minute.
You guys, I
yes,
hope
I'll
that
drink.
okay, quiet, JD. You're
You
just
got
a
1 minute to
guest.
close the show.
You're cheapers. So I want to thank our guest, Shannon. We want to thank our guests for being here,
We
correct?
do want to thank our guests, the Retireholics, for being on our show.
Thanks for all the prep that went into it. And now we want to find out from the chat bar and from our guest, who do you think is the chat bar champion? So each of you can, Shannon, you want
Do it your way.
to go start? Okay.
So
So
I think that we each go
Justin, who do you-
first.
yeah, I am. Is this what it's like, you guys?
This is the best finale ever.
Wait, like
actually.
Shannon, shush. You're the shh part of Amanda. Shh. Amanda.
Fuck off.
You're drunk.
All right, Justin, who's Chat Bar champion?
I'm going Jordan tonight.
Oh, I love it. Mark?
Jordan, you're an ass kisser.
Oh shit. Hackler.
Okay, Shannon, you can ask the rest of the folks.
Okay, JD.
Has Crystal ever won before?
No, you asked
Yeah.
that last time.
Yeah.
I always vote for her. She has. I'm going with Harlow just because I want to.
Oh, Crystal says she hasn't, but I could have sworn she has.
Yeah, didn't we
I
talk
wanna-
about that last week?
I want to cuddle up with Harlow in that little wood paneled room he has with his cowboy hat. I'm in love with the guy. So Harlow all the way.
Okay, Chad.
I'm going Mr. Edwards after a stellar performance tonight.
Got a twofer.
You said you guys are such ass kissers to
Right.
the son of
JD,
the.
if you were paying
Okay,
attention to
Shannon,
the
if
chat
I
bar,
was
you had a good
picking, I
night.
was
You had
gonna
a
pick
solid
Jordan.
night.
I was gonna pick Jordan, but then he called his mom old, so he's
Old was
to me.
good. That's
Yeah,
a
Well,
good one.
I missed that
but
one. Mine was
then-
for the dog comment.
Oh yeah, that was good. But Bill Preston, he did do your intros, which is excellent.
Yes.
And then Will Hackler sort of owned it. So I'm a tie between Bill and Will.
Yeah, Hackler gets underscored always because he's the goat. So
Yeah.
He's so
Okay,
good.
so I'll go with Hackler.
Just speaking of
Gonna be a lot
goats,
of
Go with
angry
Hackler
people
and Amanda
responding
can
to that
go
in
with
chat.
whoever.
we're missing many goats tonight.
All right,
Oh.
so let's put that up, Brandon. All the people nominated, and then these
Nice
guys
work.
vote.
good, Amanda. I like how you direct Brandon. Like that's perfect. Like a veteran.
JD, you need to take a drink.
Yeah.
For what?
Greatest,
Okay.
greatest of all time.
Mm.
And by the way, I can't believe you would say that with Daniela here. I mean, that, whew. Walking
she's-
tough lines there.
Because
Am I offending
she's
people?
Thanos, bro. She's higher than that.
Okay,
Yeah.
wait a minute.
Oh, Brandon?
He's got Jordan on there twice. He's got Jordan and Mr. Edwards.
They're the
Because he-
same. Come on,
Okay,
Brandon.
I can do the math. I can do the math. I'll do the math.
Good job, Brandon.
You had
I'll
one
do the
job.
Hey, if you give me names, I type them in. I'm not paying attention.
All right, you guys vote.
They're voting.
You can't
they're
vote.
voting. It's coming in.
No,
It's
I
coming in.
said, I said the chat bar vote.
It's close. It's close between Jordan and Mr. Edwards.
Hackler's got.
Anybody want to vote? Because it's within one vote right now. If you want to try to flip the scale here, I'll give you 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh.
Right, what's
Oh,
the score? What's the final?
JD needs more time to
Jordan
do
wins.
math.
Jordan wins, but Brandon's not going to be able to tell you that because he didn't really win because he was 2. But Jordan Edwards is the winner.
Hackler won.
11. No.
Oh,
It's going
11.
to tell
I
you that,
got
but
it.
he was split. Jordan actually
Oh,
beat him by 1.
jeepers.
so-
Jordan, you called your mama old and you won.
Nice work. Ladies,
What the fuck?
thank you so
Shannon's
much
frozen.
for hosting the show. That's a great way to end this. Thank you so much for hosting this show. It's always awesome to have you.
Scary to have us.
No, actually, of all the Shamanda shows, I usually
Because
leave
Amanda was sober.
with some type of twitch, some type of ailment, and I feel really good now. I think that was good.
Where
Who
did
knows?
Shannon
Might
go?
have you back. And everyone for tuning in. Actually, you should be saying you're so great with the audience.
here.
Tell everyone thank you for tuning in, Amanda.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. And I don't know about you guys if you're feeling super busy. I haven't been here for a bit, but if you haven't been here for a bit and you're back tonight, remember why we're here and come back next Thursday because it's
Wow.
freaking
Wow.
fun.
Plug in the
Because we're
show.
what?
Probably the best sign off
Freaking
I've
fun.
ever heard.
We're changing the retirement plan industry.
One beer at a time, friends.
There you go.
Or
There's the
one
sign off.
seltzer.
Play us out some music,
Thanks, y'all.
Brandon.